Surprise.
What's happening, guys? We're here.
How's it going, everybody? Happy Friday. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Yes. Yeah, I'm happy. It was a good week, busy. So, I'm glad it's Friday. Not that it really matters. I still end up working all the weekends anyways. It just seems like it's better because it's Friday.
100%. It looks sunny where you are, Alex.
It is, yeah. It's hot as hell in a beautiful Hammer. I'm on the most notorious street of Hamilton. That's Barton Street. So we'll stay tuned.
You're not in the alleyway looking for anybody, any intruders into your town.
I'm keeping
wholesaling deals today.
The back alley wholesalers there.
Yeah.
In Hammer City.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's gone from dealing drugs to dealing houses in the back alley.
Whoa. No, let's not get in trouble with the law here on our live show.
Cool.
But yeah, so I don't know what's usually we kind of start off by Cali usually gives us a little speech why we're doing this, and then Alex will go in and tell us a bit about himself and what he's looking for. I don't know if we want to continue on the same path or if what's up.
Sure, man. I'll just take the reign here and kind of let everyone know about 26 or 27 weeks ago, we decided to start this weekly live just to share, our wins, our losses, our journey with some of the people that, want to keep it up to date with what we're doing and, how we're doing it, whether they're people that are looking to partner with us or people that are looking to do what we're doing and just kind of see what it's like from the eyes of some, newbie active investors, right? So we decided to make ourselves accountable, hop on this every Friday at 3:00 and go live. By the way, I'm Cali Braithwaite. Just give it a little intro. I'm out of the GTA. I'm currently focusing on flips and assignments this year in Moncton, in Ontario, primarily. So if you do want to reach out, my contact information is there. I'd love to kind of share my story with you, the journey, the deals. And why don't one of you guys jump in and kind of give your spiel?
Shawn, you go ahead.
All right. So, yeah, I'm Shawn Gunther here, and I'm actually out of the Moncton, New Brunswick area. Cali and I actually have done several deals together too. So, always happy to bring more deals and more value to other investors as well. And, anybody who's looking at investing or looking to buy or sell a property here in New Brunswick, I'd definitely love to hear from you. So feel free to reach out. And again, my information is at the bottom of the screen as well. And you can reach me also on Facebook, just at my name, Shawn Gunther.
Awesome. So I'm Alex Mustatea. I'm based out of Hamilton. I'm focused on flips and family conversion projects, multifamily conversion projects, I guess, throughout Ontario, Etobicoke, most in Hamilton, and also expanding a little bit in southwestern Ontario in the Chatham region with various partnerships. I'm always looking to I guess, connect. It's been an interesting week to your point, Shawn. Quite a few. Networking, like not so much on purpose, but just realizing how small the circles get and making connections and finding additional resources through these connections that are always valuable. So I think that's part of why we're doing this every Friday.
100%, man. It's funny you mentioned that. I was on a discovery call earlier today, and I was just talking to the other person, just like, hey, what are you up to? Talking about what I'm up to. And the amount of in common people that we know, or like businesses that, places that we've been or places that we've lived, was like, you don't realize how small this world is, man. So you better do a good job representing, because your name, your reputation, as I say, it enters the room before you do. So you want to make sure that when it enters the room, it enters with some positive stuff behind it, right? Or with it, but yeah, it's definitely a small world, man. And our network, our world of real estate investing is even that much smaller, the degrees of separation are way less than 6. I'll tell you that much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, you notice it all the time now too, and I've had conversations with people who just reach out and they're just like, "Hey, yeah, we've heard of you or we've seen you around, you know what I mean? Like, let's chat, right? And doing a bad deal with somebody is always going to be found out. It's gonna be caught. Like you say, the world is so small. Like within this real estate investing world, it's crazy. I mean, even coming from New Brunswick to Ontario, where you guys are, there's not there's a lot of people involved in it, but the people that are actually playing and active, it's a small world. It's very easy to kind of ruin your name. And not to be said that you can't do a deal and it not work out great. Sometimes that happens, and it's just kind of the nature of the beast. But it's very important that you yourself, while investing, are operating on the highest level of what's the word I'm looking for? Integrity. Right.
Keep your word, right? Stick. If you say you're going to do something, do it. I think that's the key, right? Is that the honor system, that that's our credit, right? I mean, there's the credit with the bank, there's the credibility though with people that you're working with, right?
It's I guess I'm coming across from a hands-on the renovations aspect, but it's applicable to really anything. Is things will not always go to according to the initial plan, to the initial scope that was decided. The important part is how it's handled. Is fault admitted and dealt with accordingly, or are you playing the blame game? And that, I think that can be applied to a multitude of instances, whether it's construction per se, or whether it's a wholesale deal that's just not moving according to plan, or whatever it may be.
For sure.
Without going into details, I've been kind of going through a little bit of that this week, and I think it worked out in the end, but it hasn't, not without stress, that's for sure.
I had a very interesting situation happen this week. Not a good one, but I mean, it's just how things go in our world, right? I think I stress I never count my eggs before they hatch. So the deal isn't done until the money's in the bank. So we had a deal that we were working on in the Chatham area, and the communication between the seller and us wasn't the best, just as far as kind of keeping things up to date, just it was a little bit unique, but we're used to this because it's off market. So we're expecting something to be a little strange. So we had to meet the seller to make some changes to the contract, and tried calling, didn't get an answer. So we went over to the house to meet the seller. The seller wasn't there, but the repo man was there, and a notice of foreclosure was there. So, so basically, long story short, the person who we were under contract with wasn't paying, or allegedly wasn't paying, their mortgage, and didn't tell us that this was going on, so we couldn't intervene soon enough to save the deal. So we haven't been able to reach the seller. All the lawyers involved are pretty much saying the lender doesn't want to. They're already so far into the proceedings of the foreclosure, the amount of money spent, the amount of time that has gone on without receiving any mortgage payment. So there's some learning here. So I'm always finding the positives, right? So what did I learn? Okay, well, I learned that depending on how far in the foreclosure process, will justify or help us understand the odds of us saving the deal, right? Of us intervening. Depending if it's a private lender or institutional like a bank, the relationship is a little different in their outlook, because banks are not looking to be homeowners, so they just want to collect their money and move on, right? But when you're dealing with like a private lender, they may see the opportunity at closing on this thing and selling it on the market the same way that we would have done as investors.
So was it a private mortgage?
Yeah, it was a private mortgage, mortgagor on the property. Yeah.
Well, that makes a lot of sense too, and I think any of us would kind of realize that if you've gone to the extent to force the power of sale already, and you're an investor in this market, you're going to see the opportunity there. Whereas if it's a big bank, they're going to be like, okay, well, we just want our money, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's interesting because I don't know how you could have planned for this, or you could have handled this differently, because really, I think for either a private lender or a bank, the process of foreclosing is not one that takes place in a matter of weeks. I think it takes a lot longer for them to get to that point where you come to the property and you find them doing just that. So, they must have been in the seller, you can probably, and I mean, I don't know if you want to spend the time in finding out, but must have been in a pretty tough spot for them to not even identify that to you guys, as a potential solution for that not to happen.
Right.
So, what I mean? Like, I think you chalk that up to lessons learned and cut your losses as far as the time involved in that. And really, I don't know, what can you do? You move on.
I think you make sure that you have more going on than just one deal, right?
Oh, that's for sure. Yeah.
I mean, if that was my only deal and I was really relying on that thing to go through and it didn't go through, well, they would be devastating, because it just the way it is, right? So I think as a professional at what we do, that's why we have these pipelines, right? We try to build the pipeline so that we have multiple things going on at once. So if one doesn't work out, then we are able to hop on the other one, right? If that other one doesn't work out, then hopefully we have even more that's ready to go. And I think that's, again, back to what you were saying, Alex, about how do you deal with it. I think you have to deal with things in a timely manner. I think that's like the time that we take to kind of identify the problem and come up with solutions is where we bring value to what we do. That's huge.
Well, something that you could do for that situation, and I mean, it might not be something that you would do in every time this has happened, but like to create some kind of a process where that's one of the questions you ask them is who their mortgage is through. And
it's in good standings.
It's in good standing, exactly, right? So
you could probably prove for that, yeah.
Right? Because there was he probably knew that was happening. He may or may not have let the person putting it under contract know. Might have avoided telling them altogether to try to kind of pull one over, right? But if they don't have that information, they don't know, or if you would have known how long it was going to take, or when this foreclosure was going to happen, you could have potentially set the closing for a date before.
Exactly.
Now, let me ask you a question, though, Cali. Have you tried buying it from the lender for what they owe?
So this is so fresh, right? We're still trying to just get a hold of the lender, and we're not really having luck with that. Again, I never actually spoke to the seller myself, so it was somebody else who was dealing with the seller, so I didn't have the opportunity to dig this way. But yeah, I'm interested not only to talk to the lender about this deal, but hey, you're a local lender in a market that we're doing business in. Maybe you want to lend on some of the deals that we have, right? So I mean, there's always opportunities that come from these moments of friction, right?
Making that connection, yeah.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, maybe there's other properties that they have that are close to going, foreclosure, and they want to find somebody just to offer the seller another solution, right? To just just buy it out. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think these are things that we can.
I think that maybe I think
knock
there's
on the
probably
door.
some sort of conflict of interest for them to be involved with somebody that can buy a property that they're about to foreclose. They're not going to make that connection.
Right. No, I agree. I think, yeah, I think it's not. There's definitely is a conflict of interest there. Yeah. Not that, but I think it does happen. There's a conflict of interest, but I think it does happen.
Yeah,
probably. There isn't a conflict. I would say there, like, because you just happen to know about a property that's going to need to be sold prior to it needing to be sold, right? Like, really, when you break it down, if that lender is just coming in and forcing power of sale, he could potentially sell it to you, or he could list it, or you could have
after he does the power of sale. But not before. If he gives you that lead before, that's when it gets. I think.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Probably some hot water.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Okay? Maybe I kind of missed the point there.
So if a lender gives you the heads up, go ahead and talk to this guy before I foreclose on him. There may be some conflict of interest there.
Oh.
Because it's assumed that you will know how much he owes, and that's all you'll offer.
Oh yeah. If the lender was the one that you got the lead from, potentially. If you were going to the lender after you had already been like in the situation you're in now, I can't imagine it really being an issue.
Yeah, you're solving their problem of having to put it on the market, but
yeah, exactly. Then he can kind of do whatever he wants. But yeah, like, I mean, I thought when you were saying that you were having issues kind of with the seller and, things are off market, I think they kind of thought you were talking about the situation that we were kind of with one of our deals here. But
no.
Ours isn't nearly that bad. Ours is a seller was just moving and he was an older gentleman that did not have a cell phone, so it was difficult to get in touch with.
Shawn, can you believe that we were talking about this deal a week ago? I can't believe it's been a week. Like that, we were talking about this on the live last week, weren't we? About this deal, this other deal. Like it's crazy, man. Like the speed the speed that time is moving at is
it's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, and like it just seems like it's just like time just like goes so quickly with these things. It's crazy. I'm
enjoying it though, man. I'm enjoying this life. I don't know how many times I've said it, but just this compared to the being on the clock, working for somebody else. This freedom. Like, I'm working a lot harder now. I'm busier, but I really enjoy and am passionate about what I do. I think
I wouldn't say I'm working harder. I'd say I'm working. It's completely different. Right, like, I mean, my job is obviously a very, very physically, challenging job to do. Now it's very mentally challenging. It's just completely different. And now when I work for myself, I spend a lot more hours working and doing things like that. But it's definitely more enjoyable as well, right? It's not.
You know what? I like that. More hours, not harder, but maybe just more time.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and it's something that I enjoy, though. We're building something for ourselves rather than, working for someone else building their thing.
I thought about this. You had mentioned this, Cali, either on a call before or just maybe it was just you and I talking. So I was thinking about it afterwards, and that, like, before, not too long ago, while I was still pursuing this, but I was still employed, my brain capacity, let's call it, was focused on my job, let's say 9 to 5, then any additional time I would spend it focusing on this. And then it was a matter of trying to fit in family time and, completely unplugging and spending quality time. And not that it needed to come third, but in the end, a lot of times that would happen. Whereas now I find like I can spend a full day focusing on this. And even if it ends up being longer, but when I manage to unplug, there's it just feels that much better. There is nothing else distracting me. There's times where I still have to I'm busier on the weekend, whereas before maybe I wasn't in my day job, just dealing with some of this. But again, once I'm home, I find maybe I've just kind of developed the ability to really put things aside and make it into quality time with the family. So
Nice.
I think that's the biggest change that I've noticed.
Huge. Yeah, man. It's priceless. What's that worth? You know what I mean?
I don't know. I can't quantify that.
Well, I think it's worth a lot, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, never mind money. It's, you know what I mean? Like, there's only so much time that you have in your life, right? Like, I mean, spending most of your time working for someone else and doing something for them is not awesome. Like, I mean, I like my life now compared to then is ridiculously different. Like, it's 180. Like, you can't even compare the two different lives. Like, from going away for like weeks at a time out west to now being home with like my family and stuff like that is just insane. It's so gratifying to be able to like get up in the morning, sit down, have my coffee, spend some time to just watch like the morning cartoons with the kids and hang out like for a few minutes even, right? Where that was like few and far between, and a lot of times like it was very short-lived, you know what I mean, on whatever days off that I was able to have during that time. And I don't know about with you, Cali, we would always do like switcher shifts in the middle too. So I'd get back home and I'd be on like a completely different schedule. So I'd be like sleeping for the first couple of days to get, you know what I mean? So like now just having the freedom to be able to like hang out with my kids for even, you know, an hour or so, half an hour in the morning, just to, you know, get up and kind of get going is awesome for me.
I was I was on night shift for the last 7 years. So that
Yeah.
But that was by choice. I actually preferred the transition for me coming home while I was on night shift was actually better than being on day shift, because flying to Toronto, there were so many flights. So I would work all night, be up till 8 a.m. in the morning, 8 a.m., like get on a flight at 9 from site to Edmonton or Calgary and get home by like 8 p.m.
Yeah.
But now I'm tired. I'm ready to go to bed. So I have a meal, I go to bed, and the next day I'm up. I'm like, oh, this is good. I'm home. I'm excited to be up. But other people who worked like other shifts or who got home in the night, the morning, their day was all screwed up because I couldn't at least get a quality sleep on the plane.
No. So, and that was my issue. We got off, like we would start on night shift, work like I think 10 days and nights. And then we would switch over in the middle and then work 10 days of days. So on our last day shift, we would get off work or whatever. And then we would drive to town, take a flight to Edmonton. And then from Edmonton, we'd get on a plane, usually the red eye at like midnight. So then the trip here, it was like a 3-hour flight to Toronto, 4-hour flight to Toronto, and then another couple-hour flight here. But there was always that time in between as well. So it was usually about an 8 or 9 hour situation. So then by the time I got home, it was morning and I was tired.
Right. Yeah. So.
You mean they didn't have direct flights from Fort Mac, New Brunswick to Fort Mac, Alberta?
Right? No flights from Fort Mac, New Brunswick at all.
Yeah, that's funny.
They just call it Fort Mac, New Brunswick because most of the people that live there are from New Brunswick.
Yeah.
No, my history with Alberta was in Calgary, and I live within about a stone throw away, or maybe just far enough that I don't hear the planes close to the Hamilton airport that has a direct flight to Calgary. So I remember, maybe quite opposite, not to rub it in any way, guys, but I would, I think I'd wake up at 5 a.m. I'd be on a flight and I'd be attending like an 8:30 a.m. meeting in downtown Calgary, but obviously the 2-hour difference.
Yeah.
So I'd be attending meetings by 8:30 Calgary time, and then potentially even be on a flight back in the evening.
Oh, nice. Nice.
But yeah, that was the extent of it.
Alex just jet setting. We're out there and getting dirty.
I mean, like, it was at a point where it was hard for me to get a cab to drive me to the airport because it was so close, and so I just get my wife to drive me to the airport and then pick me up later.
Nice. I actually
the hard times you must have had, Alex.
Yeah. I used to rent a car for the 2 weeks that I was home. So I didn't own a car because it was cheaper to rent a vehicle for 2 weeks because insurance would be covered, maintenance would be covered, and I wouldn't need transportation like to hire Uber or taxi to and from the airport, right? So it was perfect. I would just rent every 2 weeks and drop the car off at the airport, and then when I landed, pick it up, and that was
that's awesome.
yeah. I figured that out. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. But yeah, like it's crazy. It's crazy that the amount of like personal development, in the last year and a half for us to all three of us, I believe, have changed our lives like in the last year and a bit. Like Alex, you're not at your old day job anymore either, are you?
No. It's been about 6 months now.
Yeah.
I can't believe it's been 6 months, man.
I know. Well, I should be perfectly honest that I think I kind of tuned out maybe a few more months in advance of that in some forms. But it's been it has been interesting, and it's exactly what you guys are saying. It just allows for more time to do things that you're passionate about, as well as things like even getting into a proper habit of getting up early in the morning and doing a workout. I don't know. I find that I see the benefit of it. I feel better. And then before, I may have to be somewhere by 8 a.m., so I'd be driving by 6 a.m. to get there. It wouldn't allow for a whole lot of time in the morning to do that kind of thing. So, yeah.
Tom, thanks, Tom. That's an awesome comment, man. Tom Dela Cruz giving us a shout out.
Oh, yeah.
I find the biggest change just right now, just thinking of it, that I miss from work was my eating habits were a lot better then, because I was told when to eat. You know what I mean? Like, here's your break time. It's like, hey, break time, now it's time to eat. Where now, I get consumed in whatever I'm doing, and I'm just enjoying it. I'm in the moment, and sometimes the meal doesn't happen for whatever, right? And so, yeah, there's definitely something there.
That's actually. Sorry, go ahead, Shawn.
No, I was just making a comment because, when I was at work, we got fed and they kind of told you when to eat and yada yada yada. But it was camp food, and if you haven't had camp food before, I eat way better now.
I find that just being on the go and I forget about lunch. I'll have my breakfast in the morning and I'll have dinner at home. But I forget about literally, and I'll get home and I feel like I'm fainting, and then my wife looks at me and she can tell that I haven't eaten since 8 a.m. or whatever. It's 5 o'clock now, so that's something that I need to do better with, I'm sure. Yeah,
for sure. And you know what? As I hear us talk about it and myself, I'm like, there's probably other things that we could pay closer attention to that we get consumed with our business, right? Building the business. So if we're missing meals, what else are we missing out on that maybe we should be we don't have to talk about it, but I'm just saying these are things that my mind is hey, I wonder what else, a meal, this is a necessity of life, right? Are other things kind of falling behind as well? You know what I mean?
After 3 or 4 coffees, and I literally start shaking because the coffee's kicking in, but there's nothing in there anymore, no right. Substance.
Right.
I don't know about that, too, but I read a post the other day that kind of remembered, anyways, kind of hit me a little bit, and it was talking about how you, to succeed, if you're in a certain situation, you want to change your life and succeed, you have to sacrifice something. What got you here won't get you there, kind of thing.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, there's always something that you have to sacrifice. You just have to, while you're going, I think it's important to take note of what you're sacrificing and sacrifice what you want to sacrifice rather than what you don't want to sacrifice.
Very true. Yeah. You have to be in control, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to speak for everyone here, but I think it shouldn't be health. If it needs to be instant gratification in some form, so be it. But not health, and that's yeah, I feel like I'm, inadvertently sacrificing health at times by not eating properly. I think I'm undermining the importance of that.
100%, man. Pretty true, Allison. It's crazy how much sometimes we allow ourselves to be like, caged animals, puppets, right? Being just like, hey, it's time to eat, it's time to drink, it's break time, coffee time. I know as far as the health thing, Alex, one of my wins this week is I started exercising again. So again, like that's another thing. You just get caught up, you get consumed, a few late nights, you want to maybe sleep in a little. Then when you get up, it's time to get down to business. And
hear what you had to say.
and I find that things like one thing affects the other, right? One thing affects the other. Maybe you're not reading as much anymore. Then you take a break on the reading, then you take a break on the eating, then you take a break on the exercise. Next thing you know, you're like, what happened to me, right? So we have to maintain these things. So I got back exercising and I feel good every morning. Go for my little walk, and I wasn't doing that. I wasn't doing any exercise, and
oh goodness,
yeah,
I did that 75 hard, and
nice.
Went through it the first time, like no, not a hitch, right? Didn't miss a day, gone through. Allison's actually making comments about right now. She's like, 75 hard can help. So anyways, we did the whole thing, got through it, but and what I would urge people, if they're going to do the same thing and try to make, because in my mind, yes, 75 hard is about creating habits that you can, that will improve your life and, creating discipline within yourself and yada, yada, yada. But if you make the restrictions during that time so harsh that they're not really sustainable, you're not going to continue on with the habits after you're done it. So what we did is we made our diets like super strict during this time. And I lost like 25 pounds. But after it was done, I was like, oh, yay, we're done this. I'm stopped doing it. Just started eating normal and all that stuff.
You put on 35 pounds in a month, right?
That's right.
Put all back on, and then an extra like few pounds on top of it too. So now, we've kind of gone back and circled back. We're doing 75 hard again. We got the whole diet and everything going, but we've created a more sustainable diet. Now, look, we're not shedding pounds so fast, but it's definitely a more sustainable, decline. That's been much more beneficial this time around.
I was a little pissed off at the end of it because the first time I had a whiskey, I thought I lost my taste for it. I was a little annoyed, but I caught up.
I know for 75 hard, I think it was great. Like I loved the results, the reading, the everything, right? The one thing I think the biggest problem with 75 hard is that you're waiting for day 75. From day one, you're waiting for day 75 just so you can go back to doing the things that you weren't doing for the 75 days, right? So it's like,
right.
I think that's the biggest. If you change the mindset and it's like, hey, this is 75 to the next 365, or it's 75 the start of something, right? But I think when you go in it like, I got to do this for 75 days, and at the end, I'm just gonna do whatever I want, then it kind of, it's.
Allison disagrees. She says the photo's the problem.
Photos was the problem? Oh, yeah.
That's the one I usually get busted on. But to kind of, continue on with what you were saying there, Callie, is actually this time around, like, I haven't been so focused on, trying to push myself. Like, yes, we're pretty much on 75 life at this point, right?
There you go.
Like, we're not so disciplined with it to the point that we're like, oh my God, we have to finish this in 75 days. We got to make this super strict so we're, extra disciplined and yada, yada, yada. We are trying to ingrain the positive habits. So it goes on further past it. So, creating the sustainable diet that we're going with it. We're doing workout programs that actually go over and above the 75 days as well. And then kind of creating a situation where we are ingraining these positive habits into our lives rather than, just trying to finish a program, right?
Take what's in the box and build your own, so 75 hard is the box. It works great, right? But if you can take the things within it and build something better for you, then why not, right?
I've been able to maintain a few aspects. So the water, it's interesting because I noticed Callie's carrying the same jug around.
We all are.
Yeah, exactly. There you go, Shawn. So yeah, I still actually really drink, and especially on hot days like this. So yeah, the water in the workout, like one serious workout. I'm not doing two of them, but one serious workout a day. I'll do that. There's plenty of 7 days a week that I'll do it, and then I'll slip once, a few times a month.
That's awesome.
The reading comes and goes. That's the problem that I find. Like the reading does come and go. I feel like I can pick up a book and kill it in just a few days, and then maybe a couple of weeks goes by without touching a book. So that's another thing that I'd like to do better on. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean the photo. No, I don't do that anymore.
Yeah, well, like that, like I had to create such a routine around it in order to get like the photo into. So like, I mean, as soon as I get up in the morning, like, you know what I mean, I'll have my coffee, but then it's like straight to the workout. Right after the workout's the photo, and then kind of the rest of the water, whatever. Right? If I don't do the photo right off, like I already failed.
I used to do the photo when I brushed my teeth. That was ingrained for a while now.
That's awesome.
Cool.
Well, we actually went quite a bit over here our time right now, so I don't know if you guys want to just wrap it up and say, kind of our goodbyes and sign off.
Yeah, I'll just quickly jump in there. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We love the crowd participation, the comments. Keep them coming. This is awesome. Hopefully we brought some value to you guys, just sharing our journey, our story, our human side of things. And tune in every Friday at 3 p.m. We're going live. I'm Cali. I'm out of the GTA. I'm actively, again, focusing on flips and assignments, and mostly in Moncton, New Brunswick, and Southern Ontario. If you ever want to talk to me about some of the deals I'm working on or work with me on some of the deals I'm working on, I'd love to chat with you.
Alex?
I echo Callie's message. Hopefully we brought some value. If nothing else, a little bit of entertainment on a Friday afternoon. I pride myself on my great sense of humor. So Alex from Hamilton, by all means, reach out. I'm at 289-769-8975 or on Instagram. I'm always looking to connect with investors or aspiring investors, if I can bring any value, if there's an opportunity to partner.
Awesome. And I'm, of course, Shawn Gunther, and I'm out of the Moncton, New Brunswick area, and we're always looking to expand our team and speak to anybody looking to buy, sell, or invest here in New Brunswick. So definitely get in touch with me as well, and my contact info is on the bottom of the screen here, and you can also reach me on Facebook, just at Shawn Gunther. Thanks again for joining us this week. It's been great speaking with everyone and having everybody kind of comment and you join in the conversation, and we love to hear it, and hope to see you guys again next week.